have to wait 15 seconds.
Just give your cable operator a cue.
We have to wait 15 seconds so they get the cameras up and running. It's a Polaroid. No. Are you timing?
5.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the council meeting this evening that I'd now like to call to order. So, Ms. Prince, if you call the roll, please.
Councilman Bliss?
Here.
Councilman Clark?
Present.
Councilman Corbett?
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Hartwell?
I'm here.
Councilwoman Scott? Here. Councilman Soltis?
Present.
And Mayor Swanson.
Here. The invocation this evening is going to be given by Councilwoman Scott. We'd ask that you please rise and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, please guide our government officials and all those who are committed to public service in their daily responsibilities. May they remember that being a public servant means prioritizing the welfare of our citizens over their own welfare. May they be patient in their day-to-day dealings and maintain peace and order above all else. Also, please help everyone remember to do their part, that in spite of our government needing much improvement, we should always do that what is right according to the law and your will. Make us not prefer the easy way out for selfish gains. Rather, let us stick to the common good so that we may all be united in building a better and stronger city, state, and nation with your power. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on the agenda is presentations, and it's the Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union's 60th anniversary.
Yes, Your Honor. Whereas this year marks the 60th diamond anniversary of the Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union, and whereas in celebration of this milestone, the credit union is dedicating the entire year to giving back to their local communities, including a donation of 200 children's bicycle helmets from the Madison Heights branch for the city's bike rodeo held on June 6, 2015. And whereas since 2009, Madison Heights has been privileged to have a branch office located at 480 West 12 Mile Road. And whereas this nonprofit financial institution, which serves communities from 12 offices across Oakland and Macomb counties, consistently maintains Bauer Financial's highest rating of 5 stars and has a member satisfaction rate of 97%. And whereas over the past year, the organization's promotion of the financial success of its members included distributing over $70,000 in scholarships to area high schools and college students, as well as awarding $40,000 in grants to educators in both counties. And whereas for the past 2 years, the Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union has been named a top workplace by the Detroit Free Press. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Madison Heights are proud to have a business of this caliber in our city, and on behalf of its citizens, do hereby extend sincerest congratulations to Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union on their 60th anniversary and extend best wishes for many more years of continued success. And I believe we have the CEO, Peter Gates,
Sure.
here.
Please,
and our,
both of you would step up here if you would, please.
Brett Mack.
Okay, we'd like to present the proclamation. Okay, and we have a little gift here. How's that? It's spelled wrong, but I mean, we gotta get it right.
That's fantastic.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations.
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 Would either of you like to address council? It isn't necessary.
I can. I'm the manager of our Madison Heights office.
Over here, if you will, please. Name and address, if you will. Well, you pushed that off pretty nice.
All right, that's fine.
My name is Brett Mackey. I'm the manager of our Madison Heights office right down the street here. I live in Macomb County, and I've been at this branch for a little bit over a year now. Before I moved out here, I was not very familiar with the area. But since I've been out here, I've met some great people. From the bottom of my heart, I really couldn't be happier that we have a branch in this area. Meeting some of the first responders through the bike rodeo this last weekend, talking to some of the city council members, just different people, even meeting our members that come in through the branch. Such a fabulous area. Very, very happy to have a branch in this area, and glad to have kind of the collaboration that we have with the city in general. And again, thank you very much for the honor. And we're happy to share the celebration with the city with the 60th anniversary this year also. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
If I may,
Sure.
My name is Pete Gates. I'm the president and CEO of Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union. And I remember standing in front of you in 2008 when we were going through the planning process and talking about putting our branch here. And it was a great experience going through the process, the building process, and working with the city. And it really has been a fantastic partnership. And I'm really honored to be able to stand here and accept the proclamation. Certainly, I'm honored to be the CEO of our organization and very fortunate. And we have a fantastic relationship with Madison Heights. And we couldn't be happier with the partnership that we have, and so much appreciate being able to come here and thank you for everything that you do for the community as well. So thank you very much.
Our sentiments are the same. Thank you very much. Now, do we each get $60? Is that what you said?
Maybe.
Well, thank you very much for being here. Congratulations again. We appreciate it very much. Moving on, the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? If not, then let's go to business licenses initial, temporary seasonal, and non-commercial, and nothing is scheduled for this evening. So let's go to item B on the agenda, and it's a public hearing, and it's ordinance 2107. It's a zoning text amendment 14-01. This is a second reading.
On May 11th, council adopted on the first reading an amendment to the zoning ordinance to address mixed uses in the O1 office district, pedestrian benches, and temporary structures, or tents. The first proposed amendment would accommodate limited mixed uses and accessory residential uses in the O1 office district. This amendment would allow pharmacy, medical supply, optical company, tailor, seamstress, beauty supply, and restaurants as permissible uses after special approval. These are currently only allowed as accessory uses after special approval. The second proposed amendment would accommodate accessory pedestrian benches in any zoning district, provided they do not block required accessible pedestrian routes. The third proposed amendment would allow for approval of tents in conjunction with an application for a temporary seasonal business license. This would eliminate the need for applicants to go to both the Zoning Board of Appeals and City Council in these limited instances. In addition, as directed by the Planning Commission, the text includes a provision that permits tents for charitable, religious, or nonprofit events of 2 days or less in duration without the need for ZBA or City Council approval. Following the public hearing, staff, the Planning Commission, City Attorney's Office, and I recommend approval of Ordinance 2107 on the second and final reading.
At this time, I'm going to open the meeting to the public. Is anybody here in the audience wish to address council on this issue? Don't step forward then. Okay, I'm going to close the meeting to the public. What's the wish of council on this?
Your Honor.
Mr. Corbett.
Sir, I move that the council approve on second reading the amendment to the zoning ordinance 2107 as presented.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bliss?
Support.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is reports on agenda of interest to parties in the audience. Is there anything on the agenda anyone wants brought forward at this time? Okay, let's continue. Meeting open to the public. Anybody wishing to address council, please feel free to do so. And as always, name and address if you will, please.
My name's Gloria Moore. I live at 27368 Dartmouth. I'm here to let you know that the Friends of the Madison Heights Area Senior Citizens is having the new officers meeting at the library June 16th at 7 o'clock, and coffee at Leo's afterwards. Everyone is invited.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to address council, please? Good evening.
Good evening. Jim Capizzo, 863 Vinoy. I'm going to speak again on the Trans-Pacific Partnership again. The U.S. House may vote on a Trans-Pacific Partnership this week. I don't call such trade deals free trade. I call them trader trade. This is about what one would expect from multinational corporations with no loyalty to this country. Their only loyalty is to quarterly profits. If passed, the TPP will be another nail in the coffin of the American middle class. I could stand here all day giving examples of things wrong with the TPP. Instead, I will ask that everyone go to this website, citizen.org, then go to Eyes on Trade, then go to Senator Gary Peters' website and do a search on TTP. Up in the corner, there's a search up there. And then you can go to Representative Sandra Levin's website and then click the News tab. I'm going to read, I gave this last week, but I didn't read this, from Robert Reich, Clinton's former Secretary of Labor. Supporters of the deal say it contains workplace protections. I heard the same thing when, as Secretary of Labor, I was supposed to implement the worker protections in the North American Free Trade Act. I discovered such protections are unenforceable because of how difficult it is to discover if other nations are abiding by them. On the rare occasion when we found evidence of a breach, we had no way to force the other nation to remedy it anyway. Now, a few years ago, I was sitting at a Madison Heights Board of Review meeting, and a man came in and said he couldn't compete. He made all the parts. He was going out of business because he couldn't compete against the Chinese. Now, the Chinese aren't part of the TPP, but the same kind of thing, pitting Americans against 50 cents an hour in these foreign nations. So Gary Peters has this on his website. Sandra Levins has this on their website. They're all very informative and interesting. And there's just tons of stuff on citizen.org, which was founded by Ralph Nader. So I would ask everyone to look at this.
Be happy to. Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody else wish to address council? Okay, let's go to item C on the agenda, communications. Nothing is scheduled for this evening. Likewise, item D, reports. E, items for future public hearings. Nothing is scheduled. Bid awards purchases. We're not buying anything this evening. G, ordinances. And nothing for that. So could we have approval of the minutes of the special council meeting of 5/27/15? And we're asking for change. Go ahead, Mr.
Your Honor, we did receive word of one correction on the minutes that were published publicly last week, and that is that the acting city clerk was improperly identified. So before council this evening is a draft of the minutes that has the correct acting city clerk for the special meeting.
Thank you. Can we have a motion on this, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Clark?
I'd make a motion that the minutes of the special city council meeting on May 27th, 2015 be adopted as printed.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Scott?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Could we have approval of the minutes of the regular city council meeting on 5/27/15, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Clark?
I'd make a motion that the minutes of the regular city council meeting on May 27th, 2015 be adopted as printed.
Thank you, sir. Second?
Mr. Mayor?
Second.
Mr. Harwell?
Thanks. I support.
Thank you, sir. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
there was some, a minor, I don't know if it's a correction or just maybe a clarification. On CM 15-150, the second paragraph, it says that Andy McGilvery was announced as the 215 historian of the year, 2015 historian of the year with the Madison Heights Community Roundtable. Actually, he was chosen by the Madison Heights Historical Commission, but it was given at the roundtable luncheon. So I don't know if it needs clarification or not.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, if you could simply ask Rich Clark to incorporate that amendment in the motion, and we can then take the motion.
All right. Councilman Clark, can you entertain that in the motion?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Mr. Hartwell?
Yes, I concur.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? H, unfinished business. Nothing is scheduled, so we could go to appointments, and we do have 3 or 4 of them, I think. And I think we have Historical Commission, Patricia Ross, and this is what, a 2-year term? 3-year term, I'm sorry. She's put in an application, and it would expire 6/3/2018. What's the
Mr.
wish of
Mayor?
council?
I would like to nominate Patricia Ross for a 3-year term on the Historical Commission. I believe she's taking over an unexpired term at this point. So this position would expire on 28th of February of 2018.
Thank you. Second?
Mr. Mayor? Second?
Mr. Clark, discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? We have 2 others under the Library Advisory Board. Dolly Ferris, and her terms expire July 1st. This is a 2-year term. Like also Mary Bush, and her term is going to come up on July 1st. They're both willing to serve. Can we take both of them at one time, Mr. Sherman?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so, okay. It's a 2-year term, so could we have a motion on this, please?
Your Honor.
Mr. Corbett?
Sir, I move to reappoint Dolly Ferries and Mary Bush to terms which will extend to July 1st, 2017.
Thank you. Second?
Mr. Mayor?
Mrs. Scott?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Are there any other appointments that any council member knows about that I don't have a record of? Any boards or commissions? I guess if not, executive session, we have nothing to report on that. So before we go to adjournment, let's go into closing comments, and as always, we'll start with Councilman Corbett, sir, if you will.
Just a couple of quick items, just to once again express congratulations to the credit union for hitting the 60th anniversary mark. In this day and age, for financial institutions to survive 3 years is not bad, let alone 60 years. But it's a tribute to the credit unions and their philosophy that has helped them through a lot of storms over that period of time. One other item I wanted to mention this evening, I've been working on a project, and I want to be thankful, express some thanks to the administration for their help and their direction on it. We do read a lot of things that are online, whether they're pro or con or what they are. But I noticed a lot of the discussion over the past few months has talked about code enforcement and some problems that maybe we've had. Some of us have agreed that with some of the specific complaints that we've seen. Some other ones we haven't. But this is one of those cases where I think the administration and the council's interest and the public's come together in a very concrete way. And you'll notice that one of the things we've done now going ahead into the next fiscal year is we've added a half-time code enforcement officer. We've added that back. We've been able to find the money and the savings to accomplish that. So I've asked the administration, and I am asking the administration this evening, to consider incorporating an accelerated policy going into the next year, which would start to focus attention and concentrate resources where possible on 3 specific targets throughout the community in both the residential and the commercial or industrial areas. One would be for debris removal in those areas where we have some signs of accumulated dirt and debris. Those properties, both that are abandoned and are not, that are being victimized, or the neighborhood is being victimized by high grass and weeds in some areas. And we do have occasional problems with abandoned vehicles. I think that this is something that the council and the administration can work efficiently for. There are several interesting models that you can catch online to read about some other cities' experiences. Warren, for example, did an enhanced enforcement procedure some years ago, and it was done well. It was not punitive. It wasn't it was positive in the scope of what they were trying to reach out. They used the warnings to try and nudge people along to comply where necessary with these things. And Ferndale followed up a year or two later. I believe that Warren was 2013. I spent some time talking with the folks over there, and it was very interesting. They did, it was a very well carried out program. It talked about education, and it did something else, I think. It established a line of communication between the community department and residents who occasionally have problems with neighbors and so on. So they have a face they can talk to with complaints about, and there's always one in every neighborhood, right? And I think it can be done in a positive way. This should not impact our budget. So I'd like to see if the administration and community development can propose a policy that would enact it for a period of time. Obviously, you tend to direct certain resources in one direction away from some others.
Your Honor, yes, as the councilman said, we do have a new part-time code enforcement officer coming on board very early July. In addition to Ms. Randazzo, we also have a fraction of the animal control officer's time, which is allocated to code enforcement in the area of 25%. So Mr. Schaefer and I have discussed an accelerated or enhanced enforcement effort this summer in those three areas, and we'd be happy to put that together.
And in any event, that would be what council needs to review this from a policy standpoint, but I think that it's an efficient way to have some cleanup in some areas where necessary, and if nothing else, provide, as I said, reassurance to the community that this is something that we take note of here, and we'll be responsive to as we go down the line. That's all I have this evening, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Bliss, please.
Yes, Your Honor. So I'd first like to concur with Councilman Corbett. I think focused priority code enforcement would be a great idea, and I am 100% behind the three areas that he mentioned. I'd also like to say hello to our viewing audience and better picture quality. I think we have a shorter agenda tonight simply to hook our audience and gain repeat viewers. These are normally 20 minutes, so thank you for watching and seeing us in a higher picture quality. Also, thank you to staff and to ITAC for their hard work on this. It's nice to see a project come together like this, and stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of new capabilities that come out of the system, like the ability to share specific votes, the ability to stream these meetings live online instead of just posting the meetings to YouTube afterwards. Lots of great avenues for us to share with the community what's going on in these meetings. I'd also like to congratulate Madison senior Jalen Golson, who defended his 400-meter title at states, winning back-to-back state titles. I'd love for staff to look into congratulatory certification for him. Maybe we can get him in. I don't know if he's left for college yet or not, but if we can get him in, love to congratulate him and his family. That's a pretty amazing thing to do, to win a back-to-back state title in the same race. Finally, I'd like to follow up on the NerdWallet ranking that I brought up about a month or so ago. Staff actually did a great job, and I'd like to commend them on quickly assembling a cross-functional project team and coming up with a lot of great ideas. Specifically the feedback of Chief Roberts and Public Services Director Vitale. They talked a lot about expanding our focus on promoting the great family events, not just that our internal city departments do, but also the schools and the community groups do, and making sure that when somebody visits the city website or wants to learn about family activities in the city that they potentially may want to live in or already do, that they're able to see that at a glance. So I'd like to ask staff to look into maybe having a families page on our website that lists kind of the programming that's out there, links to the exciting things that our schools and community groups are doing. even madison-heights.org/families. That'd be a great streamlined place for people to go to see what's happening and all the great family and community-related things that are happening every single week here in Madison Heights. I mean, even tonight, there's a great family park cleanup happening right now on the exercise trail right next to the Senior Citizen Center, and that type of information, it'd be great to streamline that and put it into one simple and easy to access forum. So if staff could look into that, just as they did the nerd ranking or the nerd wallet ranking, I'd love to see that in action.
Your
That's
Honor,
it, Your Honor.
yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to get, Councilman, the actual domain with that address, but certainly the family's page is something.
Yep.
we can do.
Is that it, sir?
That would be it.
Mayor Pro Tem Hartwell?
Thank you, Your Honor. You know, we all agree our police have a very difficult job, and our police show us time and time again that they have the training and the ethics to make really remarkable split-second decisions in pressure situations that us untrained could never handle appropriately. And I really want to, my hat is off, and I tip my cap to the police department for sponsoring the bicycle rodeo to educate the youngsters in town about how a police force can be used for good, and how our police department, our professional officers, believe in that mission. And you can turn on the news any night and you can see departments in different parts of the country where communities don't have the same relationship that ours do to our police officers. So I really want to thank our officers for what they did last weekend and opened the doors and welcomed the community. Another opportunity for the community to kind of see behind the curtain is the animal shelter is having an open house this weekend, this Saturday. Our Madison Heights Animal Shelter is at the end of Ajax Drive behind the DPS garage. And the animal shelter will have an open house this Saturday, June 13th, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. with a brief presentation at 12:30. So if you want to come out, maybe you could sign up to volunteer. We always need responsible dog walkers, but it's just another way and another opportunity where one of our departments is reaching out to the community. So I just, hats off to both of those. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Sherman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Speaking of family-related things, my bride of almost 30 years and I are the proud parents of 3 wonderful children. We had a wild 2 weeks. My daughter graduated from the University of Michigan Medical School and will be doing her residency in ophthalmology at the University of Chicago. My youngest son graduated from Washington University in St. Louis and was the commencement speaker at his university. Unfortunately, the graduations were on the same day, so we had to split up the family. But because of technology, I was able to at least see my son's speech live streamed. And then our oldest boy surprised us by getting engaged. So we've had a wonderful 2 weeks, and we put a lot of time and effort into these kids, and we're fortunate that it's paid off for us.
Sure, you're blessed. And you know, like I told you before, the reason you have good kids, you're good parents.
Thank you.
I noticed you're a little grayer today, too. Mr. Myers, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, a few things tonight. Today I received notification that our city clerk, Cheryl Prince, has earned her Certified Michigan Municipal Clerk designation from the Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks. So I'm sure council will join with me in welcoming. I also want to congratulate Ricky and Cynthia Dong on the opening of 168 Asian Mart. I'm sure it's going to be very successful. And we received another notification a few days ago, and I want to send kudos out to Kathy Vesprini, my executive assistant, Melissa Marsh, the deputy city manager, and all of our employees, because for the first time ever, the city has received the platinum level of the Fit Friendly Award from the American Heart Association. So we've been getting that since 2009, always at the gold level, and we added a few things this year, namely our wellness market, and they've decided to award us the platinum level. So very proud of our employees. In addition to what Councilman Bliss said about our new cable equipment, I want to also let the public know we're transitioning our bulletin board. So over the next few weeks and months, you should see a serious upgrade of the messages that are out there. We're getting more departmental input on the content, new look and feel. easier to administer. We'll be linked in for emergency announcements as well, so there's a public safety aspect to that too. And last, I want to send my condolences out to the family of our Downtown Development Authority and Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Chairman Bob Fender. It was an honor and a privilege to serve with him. So that's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Prince?
No comments this evening, thank you.
Councilman Clark, sir.
Oh, just a couple things, Mr. Mayor. For the seniors, if you're looking for something to do during the day, there's a list, 48 different things going on this month and next month. If you want to see what's going on, stop in the senior center and pick up one of their booklets. I mean, it's something for everyone here. Another thing I'd like to mention is the SHARP program, which stands for Senior Home Assistant Repair Program. Last year, 2014, there was 89 requests from seniors or disabled residents of the city. The estimated cost for the residents was $20,500. 100% of homeowners who have had repairs rated the program as excellent. This is a testament to the dedicated volunteers who work within the SHARP program. Anybody interested in doing odd jobs, a little electrical, plumbing, carpentry work, you're more than welcome. Just call the senior center and we can fix you up. Also, this coming Sunday, June the 14th, at the Lamphere High School is the annual Friends of Madison Heights Youth Car Show. So we have a lot of good giveaways to give. We have all from the different auto repair shops, the parts stores for cars, have all volunteered stuff to be brought in for the drawings. I'd also like to say, I think that the sound system in the chambers here has increased 100%. I think everything is so much clearer, and even my wife watched the parade on television, and she couldn't get over how clear it was. So I just want to thank everybody involved in that. You did a beautiful job. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Scott, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to thank Councilman Clark for being the one that is kind of the spearhead of our SHARP program. And it really has been so beneficial to many of our citizens who are unable to, something as simple as get up on a ladder and put in a light bulb, or something a little more complicated, but I know that they're there to help any seniors or qualified people that are interested in that. And I want to thank my husband particularly for becoming involved in that. If anybody can convince Jack to do something, Councilman Clark can do that. And so he enjoys it very much, helping the citizens, as do all of the volunteers in the program. I want to say congratulations to the new Asian market. Mr. Mayor was there to cut the ribbon, and I happened to come by too and congratulate Ricky and his wife. It's a beautiful facility. It's huge, and I think well needed in our community. Our Asian population, I know, is going to be very happy with that. And I would love to make a friend who could teach me how to use all the ingredients that I find there in the store, because I know that they're very healthy. I want to say congratulations to all of our high school graduates throughout the city. They've all worked hard. Some have achieved great milestones and scholarships and leaving their mark on their own school, and they've worked hard. The Madison Heights Community Roundtable, I believe, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, does publish a list of events, do they not?
Your Honor. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so, Mark, I know you were asking for something like that. There is already something in place, but these are people that are members of the roundtable. So what you're proposing, I think, could be a supplement to that. But the Madison Heights Roundtable does publish a calendar of events every month. And I wanted to say congratulations to Cheryl Prince, our city clerk, on her achievement of her educational news status. Very commendable.
Thank you.
We're very proud of her and her hard work. Now, on to our trivia questions. Last council meeting, the question was, who in the early 1900s laid a trail from Detroit to Square Lake Road, which became a road that led to the growth of the Madison Heights area? And the answer was not John R. Williams, not Oswald de Quinder, I don't even know if he exists, not Augustus Woodward, but the person who we want to thank is Burnett Fritchett Stevenson. And as you know, the road was named after him. And we do have now in the Historical Commission a picture of what it looked like before it was turned into I-75, thanks to a donation we got last week. The question for tonight, and this is very appropriate because of the technology changes and improvements we're making, although when I read it sounds rather archaic at this point because it happened in 1981. But the question is, what technological change came to Madison Heights in 1981 that was a first for Oakland County? We were the first ones in Oakland County to do that. And your choice is, first one is OptiScan voting system, or was it the installation of the wave pool, or was it the computerized library book catalog, or was it cable TV? And if you're around in 81, you'll remember, because then you became a have or a have not. And you can watch on the website for the answer, and we'll also tell you what it is at the next meeting. Don't forget also our Festival in the Park, our annual, very popular festival, is going to be held on Sunday, June the 28th. So please come by and see some great fireworks and socialize with all your neighbors and the people that appreciate what the city does for them at the festival. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Soltis, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to thank our officers, too, for all that they do. And I want to quickly comment on a recent issue that found its way into the press again in another state, where law enforcement officers are in the defensive again for what I believe is unfounded complaints that was pretty much all captured on camera. You can see it on YouTube. To me, this particular officer being persecuted in the media did his job. He should have no regrets for doing his job, protecting the community. I'm really tired where certain groups that benefit making our brave men and women officers become scapegoats for the improper and illegal actions of others. To me, it's simple. If an officer tells you to do something, do it. The day that public officials and others make the good guys look like the bad guys is a horrible day in society. To me, it's not rocket science, but it has more to do with respect for authority. And on a good note, the senior trip we took again this year, Councilman Hartwell and I went to Lansing with about 30 seniors, and we had a great time again. It was perfect weather. We made it without any transportation issues. I appreciate that. And it was a packed full of happy seniors, and we got there, and the legislators we met, and we went on up and took a tour of the Capitol, our own self-tour. There were some seniors, believe it or not, that did not see the Capitol inside. So it was a great day that they were all excited to see it and how magnificent it looks inside. And then we went up to the House floor, in the gallery, and they announced us, or the seniors, and they, applauded the seniors. So it was a good time, and we're going to do it again next year. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Good. Thank you very much. I'll just echo the sentiments of council, but my exciting day was Saturday when American Pharoah won the Belmont, the Triple Crown. It was really exciting. So anyway, anybody in the audience have any questions, comments? Council members? If not, thanks for being here. We will adjourn.